One down, two down. Let's talk.
Yeah. Black lives matter. Let's talk about it. Yeah, we can talk about the white privilege, but I ain't even trying to get into that. Can't say shit about the black oppression if you never had to experience that. They say make America great again, get the fuck out of here cause y'all know that it's whack. Let's not talk about how they whitewash black history and get to the facts. Out here living in the cold world, I'm just trying to stay alive in it. Out here trying to beat a system that's trying to put all our lives on a time limit. Feel like I can't ever leave a crib till my waistband got a 9 in it. Crazy living in the burbs and I still don't feel safe not to ride with it. What you forgot when they torture, degraded, and call people niggas while whipping they back? What you forgot about lynching when people of color was forced to go sit in the back? What you forgot about Wall Street when they massacre people just cause they were black? Yeah, I know it's been 100 years and my peoples have never got justice for that. How the fuck would you feel every day feeling your life was under attack? Cops kill white same rate as black people, then tell me how you would react. Instead of trying to push a narrative, do some research and just look up the stats. All men were created equal, it's bullshit and y'all know that it's cat. Try listening to understand, then I promise we can all gather. But don't tell me that I'm racist just because I say black lives matter. You say black oppression ain't real just because you never learned about it. Come get all these smoke, buckle up, let's talk about it. Cut the bullshit, cut the cameras, sick and tired of the double standard. Big corporations wanna pander just cause they don't wanna get the slander. We had enough and we want some answers, doing this one for the ancestors. I got the drive of the black mamba, fighting with the heart of the black panther. Stop listening to bullshit from Fox News on your big screen. Black on black crime, 13% of the population, yeah bitch please. What was that energy for these bitches trying to sleep with your kids under 16? Or these sick fucks that randomly slaughter people when the AR-15? They call us criminals when the whites do 69% of the crime. It ain't got shit to do with race. Goofy is called proximity crime. Bigger the city, the higher the poverty, you get a higher percent of the crime. It's the media keeping you blind, stopping your racist and get with the time. To all the white folks not racist, I got nothing against you. I ain't holding you responsible for no slave owning that you didn't do. Just understand that we traumatized from all the shit that we've been through. Hope one day the middle ground is all something we can get to. Try listening to understand, then I promise we can all gather. But don't tell me that I'm racist just because I say black lives matter. You say black oppression ain't real just because you never learned about it. Come get all these smoke, buckle up, let's talk about it. To all the soldiers and allies that joined the fight, I appreciate it. Fall of America came together, imagine how much better we can make it. When they signed a civil rights bill, when they couldn't separate us by race, then they found a way to divide us by your political affiliation. Every 4 years, same bullshit, don't be the sucker to eat that. It's black folks who don't believe in racism just because they never seen that. Rest in peace, Jonathan Price, it took for him losing his life to see that. We want police reform and justice, how many times we gotta preach that? Fuck the high road, call me a nigga, I'm beating your ass and I mean that. You say something then stand on it, don't be a bitch and delete that. Hey Donald Trump, fuck your platinum plan, your handouts, you can keep that. We just out here trying to live the same dream that Martin Luther King had. All black people not criminals, all white people not racist. Every black woman not hood, and every white woman not basic. Both sides gotta stop judging, both sides gotta stop hating. If we don't come together right now, 4 years we will not make it. If we don't come together right now, 4 years we will not make it.
Yeah. I hadn't played any music. I hadn't played an intro lately, so I thought I'd play one. Since I'm back on my backup page, I thought we started off with a little Young Merc Fire. Um, yeah, let's talk about it. I want all the smoke. Greetings, salutations. I haven't been this early in a minute. listen. Y'all got to get alchemized to being on this page for my podcast because TikTok suspended my ODS system on my main page for my podcast. Yeah, so I can go live on that page in other means, but not with my podcast. The ODS you see here, where I link all the other. Um, I'm so early, I can share the news. Greetings and salutations. How is everyone doing today? Hope you all are well. Hope y'all's day has been prosperous, positive, and impactful, not just on your life, but on the lives of others. Um, yeah, this is this is what it is. We are over here on our backup page. doing the damn thing. I'm running tests on my other page. Test. See if, how that shows, how those tests show up. And I'm over here on TikTok. Okay, I feel like I'm early to a party. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm not setting up chair. I am on I'm on time. Like I say, I don't know what y'all talking about early. I'm always on time. I'm always on time. What are y'all talking about? So today has been just as interesting as every day since January the 20th. And we're going to talk about that. And if you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask during the course of the live. The moderators will pin it. If I don't see it, they will text it to me and we will get to it. But let's get it. So, whew, where do we even start? The medical examiner has still not released the cause and manner of death to Qatar and Nazir Lewis that were found and on the summit on the summit of Bell Mountain in Georgia, 2.5 hours outside of Atlanta from where they lived. I know it's funny because the people that are watching me are getting facial expressions, and I hope the inflection of my voice, um, telling people in GCPR land how I hate misinformation and I hate irrationality when in the face of violence against that is visited upon our community, externally or internally. So we still have no cause or manner of death released at this time. And before, and I wish people would start reading material before they took to social media and started spreading conjecture. Because, like I said, the GBI is the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and the statement that everybody is taking and running with, talking about they're dismissing it as the murder suicide. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation actually said at the time they were not ruling out any possible manners of death, including and up to murder suicide. You know, and I was talking to Petra today. Well, we always text back and forth, and we were talking because we were, you know, if you know me, you got some pictures today showing you what we were doing, and she was talking about faith in humanity and society in general, and I tend, don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna fight for society to be liberated, but I'm telling you, sometimes I look and I be like, I'd be better off on an island with my dog because I'm going to fight for the liberation of people. And then I have a feeling I'm just going to watch them self destruct anyway because some people are stupid. And stupid seems to be the default in our society, oppressive or not. And hoping I'm wrong. But anyway, that's the way I feel. And is Petra in here? Is Petra in here? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Petra's in here. So that's what we were talking about as we were, doing our thing today and talking to the bestie about feeding single parents and migrants. And it seems like the people who are actually doing the work are not the people actually talking the most about the work. So there is that. Um, Also, moving right along in other news, I expect an executive order tomorrow. I expect an executive order. I haven't seen you in such a long time. Holy moly. Holy rusted metal, Batman. Greetings and salutations. Welcome. Welcome, Thunder. Um, I expect an executive order sometime by tomorrow, starting tomorrow or next Thursday, that Donald Trump will start to close formally the Department of Education. I really do just scared me at 2 a.m. this morning. I dreamed I replied. Listen. Hey, before I go into that, Rain, I do apologize because I will be thinking of something and I'll be up because y'all know I'm an insomniac. And was it that was it that I thought it was like 3 or 4, but yeah, it could have been any time. I looked and I had already texted, and it's like it don't do any good to delete it. Either I woke her up if she has her phone on. I never have my phone on. I think everybody doesn't. I don't even have my phone on vibrate. You just have to wait till I look at it to see a message, and I just be texting things based on conversations or something we had. And I meant to text you those stats earlier, Rain, and then I was doing some reading. I thought, oh, I didn't text Rain, and I texted, and I had no clue what time it was. You're not the only person texting me in the middle of the night. Technically, it was the early morning. Well, then, I'm just saying. But okay, and I do. Yeah, if I have your number and you know me, don't sleep with your notifications on. Don't sleep with your notifications on, because I'm liable to text you and tell you something. Yeah, so it is that. But like I said, I expect Donald Trump to an executive order from Donald Trump's White House soon that they will be closing the Department of Education. And um, if you are, I mean, if oh yeah, I meant to say this as a disclaimer. I'm gonna start putting on my lives and my videos. If you are part of the people sitting back doing nothing, my lives and my videos are probably going to make you mad, because I'm going to talk about you all through my lives or my videos. Okay, so the Department of Education. I don't think people understand what the Department of Education does and what it doesn't do. And as somebody who has been educated all over the country and came of age in Mississippi doing under the Department of Education, I also want to say this. I hear people, and someone will say something, and I hear people always saying it's the American education system. And I just be like, oh, are you looking at us? Are we looking at each other as you say that? I am one of the most pragmatic educational persons I know, and I was educated in America and all around America. As a matter of fact, I got a lot of free education that I've never paid for, but I don't even think that was education. I think that was I just like going to colleges. I don't know, assume names. Hypothetically speaking, I don't know. Hypothetically, 57. Okay, not hypothetically speaking, but anyway, so I think there's also some failure that we have to accept as parents on learning, because my teachers, I told you I was educated by the Jesuits, but before that I was in public school, and my teachers and my parents had a team strategy. They were invested in me learning. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. And this is different. This is a set aside from the Department of Education before I get to that. I'm just tired of people always blaming our ignorance on social issues on American learning system. That just seems like you all are trying to make excuses for racism and bigotry. Racism and bigotry into adulthood is a choice. It is a choice. If racism and bigotry could be ended by education, we would have ended it a long time ago. So, understand. Petra, stop it. Alabama investment is teachers sleeping with children. Listen, long they could still learn. Yeah, I know that sounded harsh, but there's a reason I say it like that. It still can learn. Bruh, you still in the 50s? I'm 57. Yeah, I'm 57. 1967. 2 years after Bloody Sunday. Yeah, that's me. um Learn what, like I say, I just think we put too much emphasis when we come to racism and bigotry on education being the magic bullet to it. Steve Bannon is highly educated. Steve Miller, highly educated. um Kellyanne Conway, highly educated. You all make it seem like racism is just a poor and a stupid person's flaw of character. No, It is not. And sometimes when I hear you all say that, I'm like, you realize who you're talking to? Or I know plenty of people that are hyper educated and hyper intelligent that were educated in the American system. But it also encompasses on parents to make sure. And maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I don't see it, but I know a lot of people that I grew up with in the same boat that are highly educated, intelligent, and everything. And I'm gonna get to talk about success later because I need to make a video on success, what it is and what it isn't, because we raise our children to believe. What's up, Gracie? I'm on my backup page, Gracie. I'm on the backup page because TikTok banned my ODS from my main page. We need to set up a fundraiser for TNathan glasses. What? I saw that squint. Look, I just raised the fonts on the font is smaller than I'm used to because I've switched. This is a different ODS. I have to log into a different ODS account, and my last settings are smaller than I'm used to. So I had to. Um, am I in what area code? What's up, Jay Sizzle? What area code? 601? Three. What, 601? 334? 228? Yeah. Oof. 501. What is 501? What area code? Hold on. Because if it's the area code of I've never changed my number from Mississippi in different area codes. No, I am not. I am no longer in Arkansas. I'm no longer in Arkansas. I'm in Kansas now. I live in Kansas now. Yeah, I had to look 479. I should have known. Should have known. But yeah, I never changed my phone number. Wherever I moved to, I never changed my phone number. It's 870. What part of Arkansas is 870? Yeah, when I was in Fort Smith. Yeah, I was in Fort Smith. Uncle T. Oh, I'm finna start calling him Uncle Father Time. I'm gonna tell you what. I'll call. I don't care what the people I care about call me. I'm never gonna. I'm never gonna react violently to it. Yeah, people I love and care about, they get all kind of leadway that other people get. But I guarantee you, who won't, you can't melt down and pour in their direction to say some of the things I allow you all to say to me. And it's just the truth. It's like the N word. There are people who can say it, and there are people who cannot say it. And your the reaction might vary by geographical location to somebody who will knock you out. I do it. I still do it. As a matter of fact, I was just talking about it, Jay Sizzle. I still do it. I still do it. Wherever I am, I do it. Yeah. Yes, I still do it. As a matter of fact, today we did. Uh, Today, yesterday, day before yesterday, we were engaged in some of that activity in this household. Um, Yeah, the superstorm, the 67 counties in Alabama that were under an emergency watch. Yeah, you know, yes, I do. I also know where Viker is in Harrisburg. Harris. Yes, I do. Yeah. So, while Jay Sizzle works that out. What's up, Arizona in the house? Arizona in the house. Okay, good. How old are you, Jay Sizzle? If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? So, GCPR. I know in my radio show, be hearing me talking to people, and they'd be like, "Who are you talking to? Who are these people?" Um, you all figure it out. What's up, Mad King? I saw you were live all day while I was out and about. Mhm. Yeah, don't. You lucky I was busy. No, I'm not adding a gay. This is not a guest program, Jay Sizzle. This is my talk show. I respond to things in the comment, but I don't do guests on. When you see this setup, this is my talk show on the GCPR network. And no, I don't do guests because I usually have um, an itinerary that I'm going to discuss in my mind. I'll answer questions and we'll talk back and forth. Yeah, the wife let you off the leash. I'm gonna have to call Queen. I'm gonna have to call the Mad Queen. We're gonna see. I gotta get a. I need a status report to know. I need a status report to see if that's a good thing right now. Because not like you can get up and jump up. I know something you want to jump up and around. Yeah. What's up, Portia? So, like I say, I believe in the next week we're going to see the closing of the Department of Education in this country. Um, and it's the reasons why it is. I don't understand the nature of why rural America doesn't understand the problems of closing the Department of Education. Is that most of the funding actually goes to rural locations. We're going to watch. Um, we're going to watch free lunch programs vanish. We're going to watch reduced lunch programs vanish. Do you understand there are children that are in school that the only two meals they get a day are going to be based off of being in school? They get them in school. That's why there's some summer programs where, they serve meals out of school through the summer. You're going to watch programs like that get cut unless they can get back to some community activism like we do. Yeah. Side note, if you're into doing community activism work, and you have to take it upon yourself to do it, understand, because I found that people do donate, but most of the time you wind up doing a lot of this yourself. Let me give you some suggestions, and I didn't know these suggestions when I was working at the university because I had more money to put towards it until people started to get in my business. But anyway, I found that I'm not a coupons guy. I am not. I say I'm gonna try it, but I don't have time. But I find that there are places that have a lot of options when you buy in bulk. And I'm not talking about just Costco and Sam's Club, but they're like the cereal. Found that you buy five at a time. You got another discount on top of the discount that was on General Mills products. So look for those. Look for those. Also, nobody eats Raisin Bran. And if you're one of the people privy to that conversation that I shared with them about the Raisin Bran lady, nobody eats Raisin Bran. Stop treating people who are suffering from food insecurities like they don't deserve good cereal or good foods. Stop that. I don't understand. People is making suggestions of things they don't eat and not just don't eat because oh it's healthy. Who out here eating rice cakes? What child out here longing for a rice cake? Shut up. You're also not food challenged, Petra, and you're special. You're special. I like raisins. I like bran. I don't like them together, and most kids are not out here longing for raisin brands. So if you're going to stop supplanting what you think those who happen to be homeless or those suffering from food insecurities need, I think if you follow me and you don't, and if this causes you not to donate to me, I really don't care. It's gonna get done anyway. If I have to put a shiesty on and go rob some rich neighbors, um, at the end of the day, stop acting like food is a luxury, and you have to minimize the type for those who happen to be homeless or suffering from food insecurities. Right? That's crazy to me when I hear people talk about homelessness and they'll tell you, I have bought cigarettes. Yep, I have bought cigarettes. I have bought a beer for homeless people because that's what they wanted. I bought them food and a beer. No. If you can go home and crack open a beer, why can't they crack open a beer every now and then? Why can't they smoke a cigarette? You smoke cigarettes. I don't know what kind of stress it would be on me if I had gone through the things they did in life and wind up homeless. I might need a cigarette too. Um, so stop that idea that you can supply. Look, and then I hear this is the thing. I get people that are obese or overweight talking about what other people should eat, and I just be looking at you like, don't you want them to eat rice cakes? You don't eat rice cakes. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Sometimes when I am shopping for those who have to be homeless and you buy in bulk and people ask you some of the most ridiculous questions and why they're lucky I don't slap them. I'm telling you, they're lucky. So if you see somebody buying food in bulk, don't ask them questions like how many children you have. Don't ask them, do all your children live with you? Don't ask them any questions because if they turn around and slap you and I heard the question, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see anything. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see anything because it just amazes me how people who are not going to do anything to help a crippled crab with a crutch are so quick to tell you how to help other people and what they need. So yeah, keep your little comments to yourself because if you get slapped, yes, I know. TNathan, why are you so violent? Why are you? Because y'all don't understand talk being talked to, not you all. But if the shoe fits, put it on. If it doesn't, just disregard. But people just don't have a concept that we have been talking long enough. And I tell you, sometimes you don't be in the mood. I will stop at Walmart, get water and food, and drop off at them. And that's it. That's what you have to do. And also think of there are a lot of pets that these people have. And if you watch my videos, you know, one of the things I always had to go back and get was dog food because I'd be like, gonna get everything I got because I keep the list, I get everything, and I get there and I say, oh, forgot the dog food. So I run over, get dog food. So bring dog food. Also, if you're going to do canned goods, make sure you have a can opener, the little can opener that you can give. Think about when you are when you're donating food to those who happen to be homeless and food insecure. Understand that people that are homeless have a limited amount of space to carry things as they move from one site to the other. Don't be giving heavy packages. Like I saw this one guy and he was like, he was giving like canned goods, multiple hanger, which is a great idea to donate to somewhere that cooks food for the homeless. But, you know, if you're counting on them having a fire, a pot, and stuff like that. Yeah, you homelessness. Okay, homelessness. Also, um, if you're going to do this on a regular basis, ask people what they want. You know, and make sure you take into account allergies of people. That's when some people they will see you cook and they will say, "Well, you didn't season that like this or season like that." I'm not cooking it for you. I'm cooking it for people I don't know their allergy levels. That's why you always see I put seasoning on the side past a certain point. It's like you get seasoning on the side. You get to make up your mind. I don't cook if I have anything desserts that are have nuts in them. I make sure I tell them beforehand. I keep multiple options. Um, and these are things you have to pay attention to. You have to pay attention to. Treat them how treat them how they want to be treated. Yeah, I say it because people, I see you, Petra, and I understand treat them how you want to be treated. Treat them how they want to be treated because I don't eat pork, but if they want pork, I will cook pork. I will cook bacon. Uh, I think that's part of the thing. We need to learn how people want to be treated. And if you really are involved in feeding and housing those who happen to be homeless or helping them with their problems, you get to know their problems. Because a lot of people I find they're just trying to assuage their guilt and being judgmental at the same time. Because the people like, let's say, well, if you work harder, you can get out of this situation. And that brings me to talking about success because we have deluded ourselves. How often do you tell your kids, get good grades, work hard, and you will be successful in this society? You know that's a lie, right? You do understand that's not the truth. And a lot of people don't understand that's not the truth. Because if it was just about working hard and being educated and you're going to be successful, a lot of a lot of us will be successful, because then it gets into your standard of success, because people will tone it down and say you'll be successful at life, but will I be bringing food home to feed my family? I'm successful at life, but I'm not successful at taking care of family. Yeah. Understand that sometimes what you engage in when you tell your children this is a recipe for failure. Because in a society where oppression exists, your success is not totally judged on you being educated and working hard. I mean, unless you could be a successful slave, because my ancestors worked 16 and 18-hour days hard and made lots of money for a master, and they were successful slaves. They were successful slaves. You can be a successful office worker. You could be successful and barely making a living. So I think you all need to have the conversation about what success is and what it isn't, in retrospect to what your false beliefs are. And a lot of people do that. Greetings, nephew of mine. See, tonight, my nephew is gonna make me beat him. Right? He gonna make me beat him. He's like, I don't know where he gets this. Jay is here too. I don't know where my nephew gets this idea of being late from. I know he didn't get it from his uncle, because his uncle is always on time everywhere we go. And step lightly, because I will block you. Yeah, yeah. Shut up, Mad King. All right. Um, yeah, I am always on time. My nephew is late. Yeah, it's 10:37. He comes sauntering in here saying hello. Cool. Yeah, right. Yeah. He said Habarigani. He said Habari. The full phrase is Habarigani, and it means what's the news in Swahili. What's the news? Habarigani. And it's not just for Kwanzaa. You can use it any day, and it literally means what's going on today. That's what Habarigani means, just for those of you all who might not know K Swahili as well. I just found out time change. You're not losing. Did my nephew just hit me with the daylight savings time? Did he just hit us with the daylight savings time? Biff muted me. That's why. Biff, you muted Jay. Jay, is this? Oh, you can't mute Jay. Hold on. Hey, you muted Jay. Don't worry, Jay. I got her. Hold on. I got it. Do-do-do-do. Moderators. Add a moderator. What's this? What account? Is this account you gonna be on, Jay? Is this the account you gonna be on? I just found out that time has changed. I was defending your honor. Well, yeah, that's a good idea. I might have to. I might side with you. I might have to side with you. Dun dun dun. Hold on. Yeah, can't give Jay too much power, right? He'll get carried away. Dun dun dun. There you go. All right, Jay. You should. There you go. Uh, well, now y'all, you can fight it out, but don't be distracted. And also, nephew is also working on the documentary, so I give him a little lead way. I know I can be a little. I'm a lot protective. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not a little protective, but I understand sometimes I can also uh, I get that young man. You got to give him space, even though he only got Monday and Tuesday to sleep. To yeah, he gonna get he get calls when he don't check in within 12 hours. He will get a call. It was like, what the hell going on here? Yeah, yeah. Cause let me tell you, the people I care about, if anything happens to them, I'm gonna know before it happens. Yeah, because I will call. Yeah, I will call. I will text. I will text all the time. And I look at y'all's texts. Like there's a group chat that they put me in. I hate group chats. I hate group chats, but it's the family group chat, so I stay in it. I don't comment much, but I do monitor everything they say, so I do know what's going on. So when if y'all think I'm not looking at your group chat, I look at it. I look at it. I figure this is the only way I can make sure I don't get crazy text on my phone is that I just let them go into the group chat. Uh, so you're just gonna let my brother Jay lie on my bestie? What did Jay say? Jay, what's your cousin say? I see Jason is in here too, blowing smoke. Yeah, Jason's in here blowing smoke. But yeah, so Roland's he's working on the documentary. So yeah, I have to, and everybody is not like me and stay up for days on end. He said I muted him again. I slid right on in. Listen, listen. Did you, he can't say it now. If he say it now, he gonna get unmodded. Right. So nephew is working on it. You're gonna see the documentary on his page, on his YouTube channel. You'll see it on mine after he posts it on his of our time in Selma, and we're gonna bring you more documentaries. I realized after watching Jackie Robinson and Medgar Evers and Major General Rogers, the accomplishments of Black people be cut from the United States Military Department website, that it's on incumbent on us to tell our stories. So the nephew and I are going to do that. We're going to tell your stories. I'll be going to the Black Aviation Museum again and putting some footage. And I'm sure, listen, this is how I let my nephew know that he's going to be editing things. I tell him when we're live. Yeah, that I will be going to the there's an expo here at the Bruce Watkins house in Kansas City, and I will be going there. The Black Aviators and Bessie Coleman. They have Bessie Coleman there. And I didn't realize how many people didn't even know who Bessie Coleman was, right? So, yeah, and he will be editing that one to add to his list of things he has to edit. And he has to do this in work because we can't depend on raising funds to do this. But it's bigger than us and we have to do it. Real question is, why don't we eat horses in America yet? I mean, I still do, but no butcher sells them. Oh, go eat as many horses as you want. You can. They eat. There's. I know you're just saying this for opinion, but you're really kind of slow because there are places that sell horse meat. So if you want horse meat, just like if you want crawfish, invest in finding out the places that sell them and go buy you some. The real question is, how does a real question that you eat horse meat and don't know where to find it? Yeah, I know. You probably believe 3 inches is six, also. Probably believe real question, because the real question is that they eat everything in America. It doesn't throw me. See, this is the thing, and I'll share with you about. These are the thing. These things don't throw me because they're just a byproduct of feeble minds. And the thing about intelligence and wisdom, they can always spot feebleness, but feebleness can never comprehend true intelligence. They can never. comprehend true intelligence. It's like they'll think they be onto something, and you as soon as you dismantle it, you really just put on the spotlight. If that is the best, that is the best you could come up with, and it's like saying it's like playing the dozens, right? You know, you play the dozens when you're growing up, and someone just doesn't land, and you look at them like, are you sure we're genetically related? That was the best you could do. And that's what I just be pointing out. Yeah. One day you're going to show Mad King your French fry sandwich. He has never seen it before. If I do show you all can't talk about it because I've been threatened that if I eat a French fry sandwich on live, I have two women in my life that have threatened to commit bodily harm on me because they say it makes them look bad. How does me eating a French fry sandwich with cheese make them look bad? Yeah, my bestie and my mother, they say got people out here thinking I don't have any food. I just have French fries. As a matter of fact, it's a French fry sandwich I want to make. It's like I take the potato and I take the potato. I don't cut the stuff off, but I wash it. Do you all wash y'all potatoes before you cook them? But I wash it and I scrub it. I scrub it and then I slice it up into little slices. I think they call them julienne. And then I cook them and I use them to make French fry sandwiches too. Yeah, I make sandwiches out of that. The second time should have been enough. I had to read the comment 4 times to make sure. Yeah, but I can only talk to you all about French fried potato sandwiches because I'm not allowed to eat them on live. Or I definitely can't put them in a video. I might can get away with eating one on live if I know they're asleep, but I definitely can't make a video about eating one. Yeah, yeah. And Joy, the thing about it is, I say things like that now because I didn't realize people don't do stuff. There's certain things people don't wash, and I was just surprised. So I mentioned them now because I didn't know people didn't wash their legs when they showered. That they just let the water run down on them. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know people didn't wash their feet if they were standing in the shower. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't. So I didn't know people didn't wash. And I've seen people say things like, "Well, it causes germs to fly up around the kitchen when you wash your chicken." How you are washing your chicken? Yeah, I'm just curious, right? I'll just be curious when I hear things like that. I say, what are y'all doing to y'all chicken? How you all washing y'all chicken, right? Yeah, yeah. My greens. Like this woman was had picked some greens and she was talking about how she just picks the bugs off of them and break the stem and put them in the water and cook them. And I'm like, number one, I don't like greens in the first place. I'm from Mississippi. I don't like greens, so I'll eat cabbage. I eat cabbage. I eat spinach and romaine lettuce and kale. Those are my preferred. But greens, I don't know what the greens you're talking about. I don't know what they are. But my grandmother used to have them in the garden, and she would wash them. She would wash them, and I would see the water after she washed them, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. If you ever want to try to even get me to eat anything, it needs to be washed." So I wonder, what do you all be it's like food. Let me tell you, corn on the cob. I wash it before I eat it. Before I even corn on the cob is one of those things I usually don't eat in public, and I don't eat a lot. But I'm gonna wash it. I'm washing it. I like it. I like corn on the cob, and when you take it, you make sure because I gotta take a knife and I gotta make sure all because I get the freshest corn I can find. So sometimes it has little silk hairs in it. I take the knife and I get all those silk hairs in it because I'm very picky. And if I'm eating some corn and I bite into one of the hairs on the cob, I'm not eating any more of that cob. So I take it, do that, and I grill my corn. I like grilled corn on the cob. So I wrap it up after I've cleaned it. buttered it, seasoned it, wrap it up, put it on the grill, let it cook like that for a while. Then I'll unwrap it and I'll put it directly on the grill and let it get a little brownish. So, yeah, that's how I make it. Yeah, that's how I make it. Listen, I only eat two kinds of fish, and they could have been swimming in water all day. I still wash them. Did y'all hear Bella? Y'all hear my baby? See ya. Yeah. And those of y'all who know, Bella is a rescue animal, and even now sometimes, and that's why I say I don't. She must have been treated real bad before I got her because even now, 5 years later, she still has like nightmares every now and then, and I have to reach back, put a hand on her, rub her, let her know it's all right. Have you ever fried corn? Mm, you mean deep fried? No, I've never deep. I don't like deep fried much. The exception for me in deep fried is before I had the air fryer. I love French fries. The French fries, potatoes. Probably any way you can make them, I will eat them because I love potatoes. But I don't even deep fry potatoes anymore. Now if you mean like stir fry, I do I do like stir fried lightly in virgin olive oil with um, rice. I like stir fried rice, and because I'll add corn to it, I'll add chickpeas to it, I'll add watercress nuts, and every now and then I'll put some chicken. But I will stir fry rice. I don't like mushy rice. I'm just gonna eat different potatoes until I feel better. Yeah, I don't like mushy rice. If rice if it's too mushy, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't like people I don't like when you cook rice and don't strain it. Yeah, it only way is the exception for that is if you're making some kind of cheese casserole or something with the rice and you need some starch. But yeah, if you want me to eat rice, I'm gonna tell you the best rice I have is the rice that comes in the bag that you can just plop it in there and you can take it out and let it soak. I mean, and it comes out perfect. Yeah, I think it's called minute rice or something like that. Those kinds of rice. It doesn't have to necessarily be that brand, but I liked it in the bag, in the plastic bag. Yeah, FFS. Y'all remember Mahatma rice, long grain rice? I like that. Yeah. So if you like those, those are things to. But don't. I like mashed potatoes. I don't like mashed rice. Yeah, I like. I think, and that was one of the things. Like when nephew was here, we got some rice. We got some. We ordered some rice, and one of them was good. One place we ordered from was great. The other place we ordered from, it was mushy, and I don't like mushy rice. Even when you put vegetables in it, because I like watercress nuts. I like watercress nuts. I like chickpeas. I like those things. So I like them mixed. Who out here eating mashed rice? Oh, minute rice is the best. Butter minute rice. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Minute rice, and there's another one too. Um, it was an Uncle Ben's rice, brown rice that was in the bag also. You get it? I like brown rice also. But yeah, that's good too. Did you So the former CEO of Ben and Jerry's is suing their parent company for firing him, talking about they were firing him over his political views. Yeah, don't make us have a strike. And this is a segue. Food, we're gonna segue into this last segment of the show where we talk about, you know, you all notice the hypocrisy of the Republican Party when it comes to protesting American businesses. Like when Kid Rock and all of them were protesting Bud Light because of Bud Light had did a commercial with this trans woman, and they were talking about Bud Light was woke when they were protesting other companies for their quote unquote woke agenda, like the cereal, the Cheerio commercial with the black couple, the black and white couple and their daughter, and it was a heart health, and it was too woke. They were doing the vitamins, all this. Now people want us to be have domestic terrorism for people protesting Tesla. Listen, listen, listen. So are we rooting against American companies? I'm rooting against Elon Musk. Now, if he has anything to do with it and you really want to save the company, oust him. I don't. It's like we're watching the undermining of protest in general in this administration when it comes to speaking out against the very things that your First Amendment is supposed to protect you in. Now, I am not one to ascribe to nonviolence, so don't y'all know that. But I am not one to subscribe to senseless violence. I think violence has a place in protest, but I don't think senseless violence do. And if you've ever protested with me, you will see I will step in between senseless violence also. Like say if you're at a protest and you want to burn down a residential district or a residential apartment area and there are children in it, you're going to have to fight me to do that. But if you want to burn down Target, um, yeah, I'm going to be right there with you. An empty Target. There's differences, and I don't um, I don't really care that a dealership empty cars were set on fire because empty cars have been set on fire before. It's an act of vandalism. We have a charge for it. It's not domestic terrorism. It's like it's just watching people change and move the goalposts when it affects them, but they were dismissive when it affects other people. They would dismiss it. I didn't see Republicans on TV talking about caring about Bud Light employees as they were doing boycotts against Bud Light. All of a sudden, you want to tell us, well, Elon Musk employs like 80,000 Americans. The United States government employs over 2 million. So what? What? So what? You don't care about the economy. You don't care about jobs because we're going to watch job numbers rise if it wasn't for judges stepping in and telling you all that you couldn't wholesale fire people because you felt you could. And then to hear people, and I don't think people understand that two things can be true at the same time. I can say I don't care about your constitutional crisis while also caring about people who are suffering under that constitutional crisis, because those are two different things. I made a video today talking about uh, Chuck Schumer's appearance on The View, where he was trying to defend why he and 9 other Democrats joined the Republicans to quote unquote keep the government open, even though he thought it was a bad bill. And I was like, do you all know how many government shutdowns we've had since Gerald Ford was president in 1976? Do you know? And the logic to watch us be gaslighted by the very people that are supposed to be in opposition. I said opposition to this administration is staggering. Because Chuck Schumer came on and tried to tell us how government shutdowns work. Like we don't know that people who are not going to get paid during the government shutdown will be giving back pay for that time that they did not get paid. Not to say that that in and of itself is a justification, but don't make it seem like we don't know that. And it was like, oh, this will be the worst catastrophe the country has seen if the government shuts down. The government has shut down 20 times since 1976. The longest time was under Donald Trump's administration, his first administration, and it was for 35 days. And it started the 3 days before Christmas. And then when they say stuff like that, I'd be like, worse for whom? Worse for whom? I think it's one of the things that the so many people are able afforded the luxury to think the way they do is because they're not going to be touched by the decision. Chuck Schumer is not going to be financially affected by anything he's talking about. He's not. And to understand that a government shutdown and say, well, he could do this and he could do this, and so who the American people gonna blame? Who are the American people going to blame when the very people that voted for him are starting to experience financial difficulties along with the rest of us? Who are you going to blame? And then what are they going to do? Because this go along to get along ideology that I'm watching Democrats foster upon you all, foster upon you all, is going to be the very thing that makes this administration last much longer than the next election cycle. There was no way that the Democrats could have gotten through a CR without the help of at least 10 Democrats in the Senate, and they got them. They only needed 8, actually. But now that one of them dropped out, they needed 9. They got 10, all because of Chuck Schumer. Mitch McConnell would not have done it. Mitch McConnell wouldn't have done it. Mitch McConnell, all for everything I think about him, he when his party was in the minority, he got the most concessions for those minority votes than I have ever seen any other minority leader get in the Senate. Mitch McConnell tactically, that's why I say Republicans are better at the politicking than Democrats are. Democrats appeal to some kind of philosophy that doesn't involve effectively doing anything. And that's why so many people are losing them and leaving them in droves. Not only do they need to retire Rain, they need to retire the concept of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is a big tent party that doesn't understand the needs and wants of the people under the tent because they make it so hard and difficult just to talk to each other. They make it so hard and difficult to talk to each other. That's why Gavin Newsom is out here talking about he agree with Republicans when it comes to trans athletes. All 8 trans athletes. Yeah, all 8 of them. There are people. We talk about egg prices. You could get cheap eggs during this so-called crisis that me and Petra talk about. Is not a crisis. During the bird flu crisis, you could get cheap eggs and keep prices low if you just imported them without a tariff from Mexico and Canada. Yeah. And I think you follow me enough, Rain, to know I don't believe in democracy. So yeah, restructure it into something that works better. But I also believe in eliminating it because under the present system, it just gets me when I watch people who say they understand the Constitution and they're electing these people and calling them their leaders. The word literally is in their title, representative. You are the representative from this district. You're not the leader of that district. You are a representative of that district. So you're supposed to be taking town hall meetings and having meetings with the leaders in those districts and talking about what it is you're supposed to be representing in Congress. No, these people will tell you what they're going to do, and people will be like, okay, they aren't listening, and we're not electing people that are listening. We are electing people who want positions of power for themselves. And that's why I say Chuck Schumer is not going to be affected by anything that he's not fighting. Chuck Schumer is a mediocre white man, and it doesn't matter what party he's in, he's still protected. He's still protected. That's why him, Fetterman. I've been warned people about Fetterman from Pennsylvania that he was a Republican light. When he's the Democratic Party does not has never been resistance. They've only always, even when they were in power, they wasn't resistance. They were always moderate opposition. They're always compromising. There's no reason that Roe versus Wade was decided in 1972 and it was never codified into law. You left it on a vine to be whacked off when the Republicans told you in 1972 that they were going to do away, they're going to get Roe versus Wade overturned. And you left it there like a low hanging fruit. And then when it does happen, you all are all crying about how did this happen? No, because they just used it to run on. Nobody spoke out against the fact that you should codify this into law that makes it harder for another Supreme Court decision to overturn. How my parents got married in 1972. How hard can that be? Explain that to me. So when I watch the Democratic strategy, that is not a strategy right now because they want to play nice and they say, well, the American people don't want us to get outside decorum. Well, let me ask you something. What kind of fighting are you all doing? That's why I say, Democrats, stop telling me you all are fighting. You all are having noble conversation with savages that are looking at you all like, yeah, that y'all keep having them conversations. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. Your brother was a huge preemie. Stop it. Stop it. But you want fighting, but you want it to be fair and equitable. But you're not fighting people who understand fair and equitable. It's it's not just yes, Petra. We know that. We agree. Democratic leadership. Let me put it that way. Democratic leadership is weak, and therefore the people that ascribe to that leadership are in a weakened position. And people were like, "Well, the Democrats are in the minority. They don't have any power. They can't stop anything. They could have stopped this CR." The majority lead in Congress is 52 to 48. The Republicans have a 4-seat majority. It took 60 votes to get that CR through. Do the math. Do the math. Why did y'all join them? Time to start TNathan party of none. I'm telling you, that's a horrible idea because the first thing I'm going to do is put representatives in these positions that are going to listen to the will of the people of the party. And the will of the people of the party is going to be, yeah, no. And this is the thing that gets me. This is the thing that gets me. Donald Trump told his people and his party and his MAGA supporters that what he was doing was going to cause a little bit of pain and suffering. And they were okay with that. And Chuck Schumer gets up here and talks about we can't let this happen because the American people will suffer. What? We're watching people being. Listen, if you would have, and this is the part, if you would have let the government shut down, the court has already ruled that these people had to be paid that were fired. So if the government, the USAID, those workers that the government, that the judge ordered back to, he didn't order them back to work. He said, you all still can't dismantle this agency, so you still have to pay these people. So if the government would have shut down, they would have still been entitled to back pay, even if they wasn't working at the time, because the judge has said they're not unemployed. I don't believe people are asking them to stand down. Multitudes of folks are demanding they stand up. They're right, and we watched Republican lawmakers across the country hold town hall meetings, and people are showing up. As a matter of fact, there was one yesterday, or was it today? It was yesterday that the police had to shut down because it was so contentious. And that's why I say leadership is out of touch with their constituents. And that's why I made the statement that leadership is weak, and therefore the Democratic premise under those leadership is weak. But I still stand by my statement that the Democrats are a big tent party that don't talk to people under their tent to come to consensus because they're because you have people like Gavin Newsom under there. Um, and I digress. I digress. Today, yeah, in Arkansas, the representatives didn't show up. Listen, not surprised. Not surprised at all that they didn't show up because at the end of the day, they have an investment in not showing up. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Tom Cotton and crew were invited to a town hall and didn't show up. Listen, just left the store, be home in 5. Jay is on his way home, y'all. But that's the whole thing, right? The whole thing is that Democrats, even the ones that are upset, they're still not addressing the fact that their leadership is supposed to be representatives. And and then the people will say something like, if you don't like what Donald Trump is doing, just wait to and vote him out. Why don't y'all stand up and it's like, oh, we got midterms coming? Listen, this is not a new problem with Democrats. This is not a new problem. This is not something that just manifested under Donald Trump's presidency. It is just something that is being shown to how detrimental it is. But the Democrats have had plenty of times when they were in power of the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives to make gains and strides that they chose not to. They chose not to. Everything that Donald Trump is doing with executive orders, when the Supreme Court made the order that protected his last administration from it, Joe Biden had the same opportunities to do in ways that also protected people from these things. He did. Donald Trump is sniffing around, thinking about overturning Joe Biden's pardons. Never been done in history. Why, especially in the face of somebody who freed 1,600 January 6th insurrectionists. But yeah, he's making an argument. And Donald Trump it telegraphs everything he believes before he does it. Everything he believes, he telegraphs it before he does. So when he's sitting around here talking about an auto pen and pardons, you can best believe there's going to be an executive order that the courts are going to have to challenge down the line to address that. Down the line. So it's not like the Democrats are not getting a playbook of what Donald Trump is going to do in advance before he does it. They're just not electing to pay attention to it. My chickens do more work than politicians do. My student loans were signed by AutoPen. They don't belong to me. Listen, my student loans were signed by AutoPen that belonged to somebody else in somebody else's name. Y'all figure it out. Yep, I don't care what you say. The Democrats should have voted in November. No, you know what? In that case, and if you were in my live when I was following the election results, you all think it's more people who believe like we do than there are people who believe like they do. That's your fallacy of thinking. When you look at that map and you see that they divided up into red and into blue, you will see there are more people, and you might not want to accept it, there are more people that believe are misogynistic and racist than there are people who are not in this country. A lot of the people that were talking in your face and gaslighting you that they were going to vote for Kamala Harris turned around and voted for Donald Trump when they went in that booth. So you have to realize it's the Democratic Party is not an anti-racist party, and it's not. It's not. If the Democratic Party was full of people like the White Panthers, SNCC, Black Panthers, and people like that, it would be the party that we should ascribe to. But it's not. The Democratic Party doesn't practice anti-racism, it practices non-racism. It doesn't practice anti anything. It practices thinking that it's non and neutral. It's not, but that's what they practice. And we realize that when you're fighting racism, bigotry, and discrimination, it's not enough to be non racist, non bigoted, non discrimination. You must be anti all that. And the Democratic Party is not, because the Democratic Party was led by white liberals that were not fighting for the same thing that the people that was under the tent needed them to fight for. That's why they could get to a position and say, let's hold right here, because they had got to a position where they were protected. But the party, the people that were under the tent that you never talked to, were not necessarily protected, because the entire time that Joe Biden was president, the death of trans women, especially trans women of color, hit an all time high. Yep, there were several high profile cases of, and this is the thing, you notice how when a migrant is involved in a crime, it's a high profile case, and they disproportionately represent all migrant populations. But when trans women were being murdered in high profile cases, the demographic never was attacked as a whole that was killing trans women. It was always about certain things like disclosure. Let me tell you something, right? If I could find a way that it wouldn't offend the trans community to do it, I would go around telling people I'm trans and try me. I want to get a shirt say I'm trans, try me. But I don't think I don't think the message. I don't want to offend the trans community, like saying that what they're going through isn't important, because I want to fight. I want to fight. I want you to try me. I want somebody to walk up to me in the bathroom and tell me some bullshit while I'm holding my dick in my hand taking a piss. Because I want to wear this shirt. I want to wear this shirt, and I want them, I'm going to beat them in the bathroom with my dick out and then step over them and piss on them. And I believe that that will change some things for people. Yeah, Petra, because I know you're good with it, because you'll be right there with me. So, no, I know Petra. Petra, I'm sorry. I need a little more. I need a little more than you, because it's because of you. I think that I thought of this idea. By the way, it's because of you and my friend, my brother from another mother, like Kaiser and Raven, that I think of these ideas. How do we make this happen? Seriously, I think until one thing about marginalized communities is they're too passive. And because they have been reared, they have been conditioned to be passive in the face of aggression. Because they're taught that if you just keep yourself, if you keep down, keep low, keep to yourself, the violence won't come to you. And that's so untrue. That is so untrue. No one has ever told someone facing bullying to just let it go. But that's what we tell marginalized communities in this country all the time. We're supposed to be nobler than the people that are killing us. We're supposed to be nonviolent, because if we're violent, that gives them justification to be violent against us. Newsflash, they're already violent against us. Newsflash, they are already violent against us. So, what are y'all talking about? I will start to sell shirts. That's, I think it's a statement. I think all those that really support communities should do that. Should stand up and say, "Okay, I'm trans. I'm black. But see, I think that's the part that gets me because I think how would that look if I saw somebody saying they were black that wasn't black, and I said that was problematic. So to say I'm trans and I'm not trans just because I'm looking for a fight, uh, I might have to just do it secretly. Might have to do it secretly because it has to be a way. There has to be a way. We have to give people boogeymen. We have, listen to me, we have to make people think about their actions because they never know if they're taking an action against somebody who will send them to the hospital. If they're lucky, I'm going to tell them you gave me the card. Good. It is all done with respect. That is all that matters. It is respect, and I would just not want anyone to miss that. But I don't know. I just think I'm just trying to justify how to make monsters realize that there are bigger monsters than them, fighting for justice, fighting for equity, fighting for the right to be left alone because they will come into the this is why my lives get banned all the time, right? Like maybe my other live will be up by the time I get this one banned. But that is the reality that in as long as we not sure if Unc told y'all, but I'm home. No, I didn't. You just text me? Yeah, I'm on the other phone. I didn't see the text come across. Jay's home. There could be a tiny disclaimer on the shirt. Yeah, no, I'm going full. I'm telling you, all during the trip to Mississippi and Alabama, yeah, I was acting like I wanted to fight. Everywhere we stopped, I said, you know how you stop in convenience stores in the South, if you know the South, and um, you have all these car tags talking about don't tread on me, um, mm, don't mess with my 2A and all that. I would be loud. I would go into section and just be loud over there, just being loud, laughing at them, right? I would laugh at every misspelling on these signs. I was waiting for somebody to come up. Nobody ever came up. Nobody would come up. I took pictures of them, laughed. Nobody came up. And I'd be like, somebody come up. I have a rainbow flag I need to replace with the snake and don't tread on me. Listen, listen. Wear this shirt looking for trouble. Do you understand? I wear this shirt looking for trouble. Yep. And somehow I don't find it. I wear my Nat Turner shirt looking for trouble. Nobody says anything, Petra. Nobody even acts like they want to say anything. I'm in the South. Nobody. You're 6'7". and and that's called using my privilege to in the service of that which I believe in. I never ask people to do what I'm not willing to do. White male attacked me, knocked me unconscious. And see, Queen, you should have shot him. You should have shot him. And I don't mean you should have woke up from your coma, your unconsciousness, and you should have stalked him, found him, and shot him, and said your defense if you get caught. I'm also an advocate of not getting caught. If you have gotten caught, you should have pleaded the same thing that the woman in Louisiana pled, that I was still in a deranged state. because for me, she said that she had been knocked unconscious, and she said that she lost time, so she wasn't in her right mind, and when she killed her husband because she was still in that same moment where he knocked her unconscious. Police didn't make report. Even better, even better. I'm telling you all, Uncle T is. So I need to march up Hamburger Hill. Yeah, no, no, but because we need to march, but we need to plan to take. See, Hamburger Hill story, I like that reference. When I talk about Hamburger Hill, for those who don't know, Hamburger Hill was just the United States military throwing forces at an unattainable position just to prove that they were doing something. Mm-mm. I'm not even trying to take the hill. I'm just trying to get close enough to the hill to plant C4 all around the bottom of it and blow it up. Yeah, why am I marching up a hill that I don't plan to hold just to prove? I just want to take out the people on the top. Blowing the hole. I'm calling an airstrike. Well, they're in a nope. Shouldn't have been up there. You shouldn't have been letting people fire down on me. I'm calling an airstrike in. Yep. QT. Uh, Gulfport. It was in Gulfport, Harrison County. Harrison County. Steve Bird territory. Yeah, you should have definitely shot him. You should have definitely shot him. And look, the swamps of Louisiana are only 40 minutes away. What were you checking on, Petra? Off subject, Unc. I got the game that has Yahtzee in it, and the whites tried to cancel. he, Yasuke, you got it. Okay. Allegedly, you leave your phone at home. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, I know who Yasuke is. But kill Jason. I just wanted to charge him sometime because I was like, once he said it, knew who Yasuke. I know who Yasuke is. Um, that's why I be wanting to beat up people. Sometimes that are close to me when they say things or tell me things, and I'll tell them something, and they'll tell me something. I'll be like, I said that, but I thought of you when I got it. It's a good one. It's a good one. I'll give you that. Gulfport, Mississippi be having people missing all the time. Just saying, Petra, you don't lie. Yep, shot him. I'm an advocate of women shooting people who do violence to them. I'm an advocate of people, of disabled, queer, trans people. If somebody does violence to you, I am an advocate of you going the proverbial overboard. Just an FYI, so you don't go missing. I'm an advocate. I am an advocate of meeting violence with extreme violence. I'm an advocate of the little girl who was being hit with water and responded by hitting somebody with a metal um, flask. Yep, I'm an advocate for it because if you didn't want to get hit with the metal flask, you should have stopped splashing me with water when I told you to. You don't like it? Let's fight. I'm telling you, as long as we take these approaches to dealing with people that, oh, please stop harassing me. Oh, please. There's a black girl. She got braids in her hair and you getting her hair wet. That's an assault. That's an assault. And then people in the comments section defending him. He was just playing, and she shouldn't have responded. That y'all don't gonna like me. I'm gonna tell you, I be wanting to knock people out over microaggressions. And sometimes the only reason I don't It's because I'll assess my environment because I'm not going to go back to prison, and I'll be like, I could wait till you go home, get ready to go home, and then I'm leaving. I want them to know why they were knocked out. You know how long her hair will take to dry. Exactly. And then it's gonna be frizzy. Then she's gonna have all kinds of things be done. That's an assault. That's assault. Y'all out here assaulting people and wanting them to do. And that comes from a society that believes that marginalized groups of people should tolerate anything that's done to them and act accordingly non-violently. Or they'll talk about, listen, we live in a country that has disproportionately responded to every provocation that was ever leveled against it. And you tell it, but you tell me that we have to be diplomatic. Yeah, shut up. We don't have your we don't have your bail money. I don't know. My bestie, my mom does. Rain. I got people that will come that will they will come up with enough to get me out long enough for me. All you gotta do is get me out. I'll take care of it from there. Yeah. Depending on what the charge is, depending on if I stick around for it. I can get it. Just don't ask how I got the money. Like I say, I, I never ask those questions. Now you know there are some things I don't want you to do, but yeah, there are lines. Don't get me wrong, but you all know those lines. I'll scam for the money. Don't worry, the super scam on the way. I can't with you. I can't. But it's not just about, on a serious note, it's just that we need to make concrete efforts to understand that if you cross us, or if listen, let's be honest, most of us just want to live our best life without oppression. That's it. I just want to go to the store and buy stuff without people asking me questions or making stereotypic comments like I got 1,000 children and 900 baby mamas just because of the color of my skin. Yeah, that's what I would like. That's what I would like. And I figure if you disturb my peace, I should disturb you. If you disturb my PEACE, I should disturb you into PIECE. Yeah, I figure that's a fair exchange, right? Because the next one, you will think about it. TNathan, you remember Sydney from Gulfport, the federal prosecutor? She's is back in Mississippi. Why is she back in Mississippi? You talking about the one that doesn't like me? The one that had is that the one that had the news had a listen, is that the one that had the news conference from Mississippi Rising talking about I owed her an explanation? Is that the one we're talking about? Yeah. I know if it's that's the oldest Sydney that was in Mississippi Rising that was a federal prosecutor also. I don't know if that's the one that lived in Bay St. Louis. Yeah, she was at the meeting we was at. Well, you remember when we used to go to Leah's house for those meetings? She was there all the time, and she was always leading with, "Well, when I was a federal prosecutor, because she was retired. She was retired. Another Pisces. Yeah. What is this? Is it what season is it? You because for me year round is Scorpio season. Scorpios succeed. Scorpios. Y'all know. You know. All year is Scorpio season, but we allow other people to believe they have their time in the spotlight. This Cindy didn't retire till Trump got it. No, that's not the same one then. Scorpios, Cancer season is all year round. We are the petty ones. Y'all are the delusional ones that we let think that their season is all year round. All right. Great conversation tonight. Great conversation. Thanks for the interaction. Like I say, we'll be on this page for a while. You know, we have to bounce back before we have to bounce back and forth on TikTok. So all the other things are up. The YouTube channel is up. The Twitch is up. We also will be showing movies. I got some movies lined up starting tomorrow night or Friday night. Um, if you haven't watched, I don't care. I don't care if you think it's campy. I don't care if you think it's bad acting. It is entertaining as hell. If you haven't watched Beauty in Black, it is worth the watch. And, you know, this is the thing that gets me, right? I will hear people taking these attitudes about Beauty in Black. Oh, it's not well acted. It's just this. It's as well acted as Dynasty in Dallas was in the 80s. It's a really a throwback to, but it just has black people with money. I think that's the problem. People don't like to see he shows that black people don't have the same problems that black people without money has. The problems that comes with not having money, these people don't have them. They have the same over the top drama driven problems, and it's campy. It is campy as the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's entertaining. So, yeah. Yeah. Beauty in Black is a good movie. I'm talking about the series, Goddess. It's a series, 16-part series on Netflix. Tyler Perry. I don't care how y'all feel about Tyler Perry. If you put in black people to work and they getting a check, I'm all for it. They getting a check. They can have as campy a movie, I mean a campy a series as anybody else. Yep. Yeah, it's good. It's entertaining. It's the kind of thing that you can lose yourself in a while because the problems are so over the top. They are hilarious. It is hilarious. What he did to Mo though is wrong. Has nothing to do with Beauty and Black. It's another thing. It amazes me that black people are expected will allow other people the room and grace to make mistakes, correct those mistakes, or even not correct those mistakes. We don't. White people give their grace all the time to their stars. We don't. And what happened between him and Mo, was it wrong from what I hear? Yes. Lee Daniels made up. Yes. And Mo is not suing anybody. So I'm not suing for her. Yeah, I've always liked Monique. I still like Monique. Um, so it's a win-win situation for me. So you all carry that. I'm carrying the death of black people. I'm not carrying arguments that black people have among other black people like it's some moral imperative. I argue with you all. I argue with people all the time. I distance myself from people all the time, and it's my right to. So whatever Tyler Perry did, like, and don't get me wrong, there's some Tyler Perry movies I don't like. This isn't a judgment of his work as a collective. This is a judgment of pretentious black people who all of a sudden were watching Dynasty in Dallas in the 80s. All of a sudden, when they see it involving black people, all of a sudden they're like, well, you know that every movie is not the color purple. We can laugh. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to watch campy, and I'll be watching campy when it comes out next season. As a matter of fact, listen, listen. I watched Ed, and Eddie. You can't get more campy than that. I still go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Camp, camp. I can be entertained by Black Beauty and Black. Also, I can be entertained. Same here because people can be annoying. I love Ed, and Eddie. It's campy. If I could watch a campy white cartoon, I can watch campy black people hamming it up. Because the joke is, I think people miss. They say it's bad acting. It's not actually. It's watching them. It's like you watch them say these lines. I'm gonna tell you, Debbie Morgan. I don't know if you all know who Debbie Morgan is. Debbie Morgan is a black icon in acting. She was on soap operas in the 80s. She has done other things. And she can act. There is no question Debbie Morgan can act. And to watch her play this part in Beauty and Black and knowing that you're in on the joke with her, that she is laughing as she conducts these lines, but she's doing it in such a way that you see it, but you don't see it. Chef's kiss. And the storyline is so over the top. The storyline, and it involves strip clubs. What more do you want? You got strip clubs, you got black people with money, you got over the top DL characters, over the top characters all around. You talk about everything being represented, it's everything represented. Everything. And I think some people dislike it because it's acting. It's acting. We act like every movie in the black community has to be about our pain and suffering through slavery to be great. No, well, I don't need great all the time. Sometimes I just need a laugh. I can I can watch things and science fiction, and even in science fiction, black people can't get a break. They always. I'm an X-Men fanatic. We had a time where the X-Men reached the pinnacle, and the writers couldn't stand that pinnacle because they must suffer, so they put them all back again. Yeah, no, I enjoy watching it because everybody on there is either rich, trying to get rich, and still have problems that involve rich people problems, and it's funny to watch. So Debbie was on All My Children. Thank you. Thank you, Petra. They got strip clubs, and it's on Netflix, so you get to see stripping if you want to. Men and women, whatever your flavor is, it's there. They spend a lot of time in the strip clubs. There are a lot of dollars flying in the strip. And let me tell you, even the strip club scenes are over the top. They're over the top. Listen, and they also touch on things like um, that happened in Atlanta. It's in Atlanta, and if you know, you know. If you've been to Atlanta, if you lived in Atlanta, if you notice how pretentious Atlanta is, it's Atlanta. Yep, it's Atlanta. Money, guns, shoot. Right. It's Atlanta. Beauty and Black is in Atlanta. Pretentious black people with money, and to watch it is just like watching Dallas and Dynasty. And white people never complained about how campy that was. So I refuse to complain about how campy it is. I tuned in for the camp. Did you hear Elon discovered 13 computers that make money out of nothing? I'm not talking about Elon anymore for at least 30 seconds. Okay, I didn't make it 30 seconds. But listen, Elon is an immigrant from South Africa, and it's so funny watching him, and nobody has a problem with him in the Republican Party because immigration is not the problem. Elon is the epitome that it's not immigrations that the problem is, it's the color of the immigrants. Yep, nobody, him and Melania speak to that. And let's put this in there. It doesn't matter where you from either, as long as you're white, because Elon is a South African immigrant. I watched Sanford and Son, and the actor Demond Williams say on the set, him and Red Fox were strapped. How do you make money out of nothing? All you gotta do is be white. Yeah, white people make money out of nothing all the time. Oh, let me clarify that. White people make money off of the backs of marginalized groups all the time. This is this country, this society that is created by colonization. Mediocre white men have been literally printing money off the backs of marginalized groups of people. So a computer that does it, I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, and it gets to the point where I always still go back to it's still about power. Elon is the richest man in the world, but Donald Trump is more powerful than him. It's still about power. It's about the power, and and didn't say either one of them were the smartest men in the world either, but it's about power and control. Let this sink in. When did poor people start capping so hard for billionaires? When did poor white people start capping so hard for millionaire billionaires? Queen, I don't think they're con men. I think con men, because con man stands for confidence. It's confidence man. I know. I have done it before. I sold oil wells to greedy people. I didn't own any oil wells. They were conning themselves because they were greedy, and they didn't believe that a black man could be smarter than them. So in that idealism which I traveled in, I they conned themselves because any sane rational person who didn't wasn't blinded by their bigotry would have known that what I was selling wasn't possible. But when you sell it with the confidence of making people believe and appeal, I used to appeal to bigots bigotry when I was selling oil wells. I would act like, well, I don't understand. I would make them feel like they knew more than me. So at the end of the day, I don't think there's so much con man as they are what the people that they represent aspire to be. See, I don't identify with Donald Trump not because of the millions or billions of dollars and all that. It's because he's morally bankrupt. So is Elon Musk. See, a lot of you all put this on financial footing. I don't. It's a moral bankruptcy required to oppress somebody that I don't possess. I don't possess it. So I think that's probably why a lot of people don't resonate with me because I don't talk about that. I talk about the control factor. I talk about moral bankruptcy when it comes to oppression. And most people just want to trade places with the oppressor. Yeah. What they're doing is not artistry, it's just history. It's just history. This country is founded on racism and bigotry. The artistry of Donald Trump and people like him is that they tap into that racism and bigotry. That's why I put that map up there. They're Listen, those people were not voting for Donald Trump because of egg prices. That's just the lie that they were selling. They were voting for Donald Trump because they don't want to be faces at the bottom of the well. They knew the implications of what Donald Trump was saying. It's just that liberals didn't want to believe they knew the implications. That's why I make it a point to point it out and tear it apart when they're willing to suffer some for progress. When I'm willing to say that they thought dismantling the government because the government employs more black people, is the largest employer of black people in this country. Yeah, they are with it because they figure it will hurt black people first, not understanding that black people are used to the things you all think we're not used to, and we know how to navigate them better than the fallout that is going to occur. They're not conning this country, they are giving voice to a certain segment of this country that is overwhelmingly bigoted, misogynist, and racist. They're giving voice to them. And when you look at people and they're going after DEI, and when I say DEI, I'm not talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm not talking about that. DEI is their way of saying the words that we have told them they can't say without consequences, be it nigga, be it referring to women in a certain way, be it referring to the LGBTQ community by a certain F slur. When you say them, they can't say that. So they're putting all this diversity. Listen, how else do you explain that under the DEI executive order, you're removing, you accidentally removed the name of the most famous plane in history, the Enola Gay? Why? Because it had gay in it. Sergeant Rufus Gay, who died in Vietnam and was awarded posthumously the Medal of Valor honor, you remove his name because his last name was Gay. Just think about that. Just think about that. You're removing people like Medgar Evers and Jackie Robinson and the Tuskegee Airmen's. That has nothing to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion. It has everything to do with your concept of DEI. Right. I didn't hear him say it either, but I've been doing paperwork for work at the same time. Y'all are so encourageable. But that's it. That is the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is this is a revolution not just against a concept of what oppression is, but also what it looks like. Yes, I've logged off the radio. Right, right, Queen. Because that's why I tell you, y'all spend a lot of time in lives listening to people with pseudo intellect that are not revolutionaries. They're not in the field. They're not doing the work. They're just doing talking, and they're trying to convince you that they're smart. Intellect, true intellect, doesn't have to convince you it is intellect. It speaks for itself. Pseudo intellectuals have to get into discords and conversations to prove their pseudo intellect with racists and bigots. No, you come to my live. What do we do here? We cuss. We do ad hominems because they're not worthy of a true intellectual debate. Because in our intellectual debate, you have to have two people at least with intellect. And no, I just cuss. I just realized what time it was. I thought I was still 10 minutes. I only sit in your lives because some people on here be full of. And we bust balloons over here. We don't allow balloons the space to expand. We stick a pin in them. Yeah, we stick a pin in them. We I attack every insecurity you have because if you were truly like people stumble in here, who is in here at 11:50 at night talking about they can't stand me, but you're in my live at 11:50 at night? That's because you have nothing to fuck at 11:50 at night. Because why are you showing up somewhere you don't like? If you don't like me, why are you in my live? Because you have no life. You don't see me popping up at, at, at strange people's lives and talking about, I don't like you. I don't care. I don't care. Don't care. But I'm going to tell you what you can't do. You can't beat me. Yeah. Because you do like me. That's why they here at 11:50 at night. Because they want these nuts. They just want some attention. So that's what I do. I talk about them wanting these nuts and be like, just let it out. Just let it out. I understand. You want these nuts, but you are in the closet and you want me to bring the nuts to the closet. I'm not bringing the nuts to the closet. You got to come out the closet to get these nuts. Yep. So why am I having an intelligent conversation with somebody who is showing you they don't have the intelligence to come out the closet and say, "Hey, TNathan, you're kind of harsh on us, but I still want them nuts." Yep. Told you I fight. All right. I am out of here. It is approaching the next day. We got 5 minutes before the next day here. It's almost Thursday. You all have a great night. Great conversation. Like I say, this is going to be the format going forward for a while. And see you all later tonight, later tomorrow night. Peace. Y'all be good. And remember, if the opportunity presents itself, cuss somebody out.